Here's more wrestling news for December 13th, 2021. And your headlines for this afternoon include CM Punk on his feud with MJF, criticism over his AEW booking. AEW held off on Hook's in-ring debut. Two big names likely to sign with AEW. What? They're not brothers. Vince McMahon thought ex-WWE tag team were siblings. DDP engaged to be married. Entertainment executives attend WWE Smackdown in Los Angeles. Former WWE champion confirmed as playable character for upcoming video game. Sarray has come back to the United States. Scarlett Bordeaux shares her biggest fear in WWE, and more. We're starting off with CM Punk, who has been engaged in a war of words lately with MJF. This feud has seen both men make reference to WWE, with MJF being branded a less famous Miz by the former world champion, and during a panel at the C2E2 event, Punk discussed his beef with the Salt of the Earth. That's one matchup everybody wanted to see even before I even came back. I always heard, oh, I want to see CM Punk and MJF go back and forth. A lot of people think I'm off to a slow start in AEW, but to me, and just what Adam Cole just said, there are 5 years with this stuff with all of the integral characters and players. MJF is definitely somebody I wanted to share a ring with. I think now that we're getting to it, people can finally see the bigger picture. They trust AEW as a whole for the direction where stuff goes. The fans, I understand they want to know the behind-the-scenes stuff, they want to peel back the curtain. Everyone is an armchair booker. I am. Everyone is an armchair coach, quarterback, whatever. It's human nature for you to watch sports and say, why didn't you put this guy in? Why is he on the bench? You know, blah blah. It's no different, I think, with pro wrestling and with the fans. After over 7 years away from the ring, Punk's signing was possibly the biggest win for AEW to date, as a high-profile televised feud with MJF was something few fans could have imagined happening just a few years ago. On last Friday's Rampage, Hook, the son of commentator Taz, made his in-ring debut, making short work of Fuego del Sol. Hook's impressive win has earned him the admiration of both fans and those in the industry, and there's a special reason why his debut match happened last week. On his show, Dave Meltzer said that there were plans for Hook to debut earlier, but that the decision was made to hold off until an event in Long Island, confident that the New York crowd would give him a bigger reaction than if he worked elsewhere. It remains to be seen what's next for Hook, but given that AEW were happy to wait until a show in New York before letting him get in the ring, it goes to show that the company is already treating this second-generation wrestler's future with the utmost importance. Now, with Ring of Honor going on hiatus following last weekend's final battle, a lot of their roster are now in search of a job, including the Briscoes, one of the most established and decorated tag teams in all of wrestling. At Final Battle, the pair won the ROH tag titles for a record 12th time and challenged any team to step up to them, a challenge that was answered by FTR. On Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer discussed the face-off between the two teams and said that fans can expect this match to happen sooner rather than later. The Briscoes aren't going to WWE anyway, so maybe Tony Khan is picking up some of these guys, which I expected him to pick up some of these guys. And the Briscoes, I mean, it's not like they need another tag team, but the Briscoes are great, so it's a good addition. Meltzer went on to say that FTR have been wanting this match for years, and while the future of Ring of Honor remains up in the air, the future of the Briscoes looks to be all elite. Many fans are expecting Jeff Hardy to be AEW bound soon after he was released from WWE following a concerning appearance at a Texas Live event. Collapsing in the ring after a light shove and fleeing the show after making the hot tag, Jeff was evidently in no condition to compete, which has had fans questioning why WWE let him go out in front of a crowd in the first place. According to sources, though, WWE had no idea how bad Jeff was doing, as one source who was at the show said, "I saw him before the match and there was nothing out of the usual going on with him. Jeff deals with back and knee issues, but I don't think he drank anything or took any pills before that show." Now out of WWE, Jeff will have to wait 90 days before he can work elsewhere, but if AEW also insist on him going to rehab to get his problems looked at once more, the former world champion may have to look for other prospects. When Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins made their main roster WWE debuts, they did so as Bret and Brian Major on ECW in 2007. By the end of the year, the pair were going under the names they'd use for the rest of their WWE careers as part of La Familia with then World Heavyweight Champion Edge. During an appearance on KNS WrestleFest, Brian Myers, the former Hawkins, discussed being kayfabe siblings with Ryder and how one important name decided to change their names. "We wanted to just join Edge as the Major Brothers, and then what I've been told that I didn't realize at the time is that Vince McMahon thought we were Shoot Brothers, and then when it all came up that we already joined Edge, he goes, 'What? They're not brothers? That's stupid.' And that's when he said come up with new names, and we came up with Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder. So that was never part of our plan, it just kind of fell into our lap." Now Hawkins and Ryder go as Brian Myers and Matt Cardona after a lengthy run in WWE, and although they've both won against each other in singles competition, perhaps the Major Brothers could reunite, but now outside of WWE. We've got some great news regarding Diamond Dallas Page next, as the WWE Hall of Famer is engaged to be married. On social media, DDP shared an image of his proposal to Paige McMahon, no relation to Vince, Linda, Shane, or Stephanie, and judging by her reaction and the fact that DDP shared the picture, she probably said yes. Paige may not be a relation to the McMahon family, but she'll soon be going by Paige Page, and we'd like to offer our congratulations to the happy couple at this joyous time. More from Smackdown, as the show didn't feature Universal Champion Roman Reigns, but there were plenty of very important people inside the Staples Center. According to a report from Deadline, President of CBS Entertainment Kelly Call, President of MGM Studios Barry Posnick, and Executive Vice President of Fox Sports Larry Jones were all in attendance. Sports journalist Jamel Hill, Fox Sports analyst Reggie Bush, and actor Vanessa Hudgens were also at the Staples Center for what was a star-studded show, even without the Tribal Chief around. The Staples Center has been a constant home for WWE content, but will soon be changing its name to the Crypto.com Arena, and in probably their last show under the original name, WWE had a full show with some huge names filling the seats. As one of the most decorated champions in all of professional wrestling, Kurt Angle has been immortalized in games for both WWE and TNA, but the Olympic gold medalist is now coming to a brand new game. On social media, Angle announced that he will be a playable character in the upcoming wrestling card game All Time Wrestling, which will be heading to Kickstarter in April 2022. In addition to Angle, the game is also set to feature Raven, Brian Cage, Thunder Rosa, Lance Storm, and many other big names of the industry. And who knows what other names will join the project if it reaches its funding goal this year. Over to NXT 2.0, as Sarray hasn't been on the show in over a month, but we'll soon be seeing more of the Japanese superstar. On Twitter, Sarray let fans know she's returned to the United States after spending the last month in Japan. It's unclear why she went to her homeland in the first place, but her trip to Japan came after a series of losses in NXT 2.0. Sarray had originally meant to debut for NXT back in April after her 2020 signing, but that was delayed, and time will tell what the Warrior of the Sun has in store now that she's getting back in the ring. In a post-Smackdown dark match, WWE treated the live crowd to a fatal four-way match featuring Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, Bianca Belair, and Sasha Banks. The star-studded affair ended with Banks picking up a huge victory by pinning Lynch. Following the loss, the man approached a young girl at ringside and blamed her for the loss. Here's what she said to the girl. "You distracted me! You distracted me! I would have won! I would have won! Next time, it's you and me!" Becky Lynch later reacted to the fan interaction on Twitter, making it clear that she's petitioning to have the young girl banned from all future WWE events. Be it her social media jibes at her opponents or belittling fans at live events, Lynch is doing a great job as a villain. Unfortunately, she is one of the most beloved WWE superstars, and there are a lot of fans who refuse to boo her no matter what. Big Time Bex is still putting in efforts to make fans hate her, as is evident from this fan interaction. As we reported earlier, during a match against Carly Colon, formerly known as Carlito, independent wrestler Hannibal the Blood Hunter, whose real name is Devin Nicholson, took liberties on an official with a spike. Going off script, Hannibal proceeded to stab referee Lando Del Toro with a spike, causing Del Toro to suffer a torn artery in his head. Lando is said to be stabilized in the hospital, but had been bleeding out inside of the ring. Del Toro was choking in a pool of his own blood before EMTs could get to him. Lando has been giving updates on social media. The most recent update on Twitter says he's experiencing a lot of pain. Recovering at home, still a big fuzzy in pain. Yes, lots of pain, but I'll live. Thanks you all for outpouring of love and support. I am a firm believer that if you put good out into the world, good will return to you. After the show, the footage was posted to Squared Circle on Reddit by wrestler Thorn the Hunter, who also worked the show. The referee from the match where the incident happened, not the one who was injured, posted their recollection of the incident. They said the police were called and that Kevin Sullivan told him to try and kayfabe the cops. He said, "Cops were called. I gave a full statement about what I believed happened. Kevin f***ing Sullivan told me to kayfabe the cops." Of course, kayfabe being the term to protect the business and that everything that happens is a work. He also noted that Hannibal was visibly unwell prior to the matchup. Fans and several wrestlers have called for promoters to stop booking Hannibal immediately. This was an unbelievably dangerous, selfish act that could have resulted in death. And we're ending today with Scarlett Bordeaux, who was released from her WWE contract last month, as was her fiancé Karrion Kross. The pair had been a successful duo prior to NXT, but unlike Kross, WWE never used her on TV as a wrestler, despite that being the eventual plan for her character. At a virtual signing hosted by KNS WrestleFest, Bordeaux fielded questions from the fans and spoke about what she was most concerned about during her WWE tenure. "My biggest fear at WWE was that they were going to buy my name, and then once I left, I was going to have to change it. If I would have been official main roster, I know they would have bought it, and they were talking about adding back the Bordeaux, and I'm like, they're going to buy my name, and that means later on I can't have it, so I'm actually really happy that didn't happen." While Kross is still under a 90-day non-compete clause, Bordeaux is already making appearances now that her 30-day clause has expired, and she's thankfully been able to work under the name she made for herself prior to WWE. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.